At the end of the most recent chapter of My Hero Academia, chapter 353, All For One is shown taunting Endeavor and releasing 5 different quirks from his hand, each emerging from a fingertip. Included in these quirks are a weird slime like the one used to warp people, a face and flesh protruding from another finger, crescent moon-shaped rings, little drills and rivets, and on one finger what appears to be fire. Due to this quirk, some in the My Hero Academia community believe this means All For One can produce or breathe fire, and that this connects him to Deku's dad since his father is described as having a fire-breathing quirk. While this would be one amazing Star Wars twist, and face it, we all know Horikoshi loves his Star Wars, and we are approaching the end of the series in My Hero Academia, aka why have we never found out the identity of Deku's dad yet, I'm still skeptical that Deku's papa is actually All For One. Here's why. You have to assume All For One has many hundreds of quirks, most of which we haven't seen before. Some that we have seen, like the drills and rivets, seem to be a favorite of his when making his arms jacked and stockpiled full of power. Since these drills can appear anywhere, this would mean All For One is able to produce the fire or the moon rings or any of these weird quirks from other parts of his body, like say breathing said fire from his mouth, just like Deku's father. The problem here is, fire isn't terribly rare in My Hero Academia. Even just setting aside the Todorokis for a second, there's still people like Burnin, Endeavor's sidekick who has flaming hair. So instead of being Deku's dad, how about All For One being hers? He's certainly old enough. And I'm drawing a bit of a blank here, so perhaps you can help me out in the comments, but I'm pretty sure there are other fire quirks in the universe of My Hero Academia. Honestly, if one of these fingers indicates something about his true identity, why not look at the one producing flesh and this creepy face? Could this mean All For One is the real father of a student who can produce body parts anywhere on his body? Let's face it, Shoji and All For One both wear masks to cover their scars. Yes, I'm being snarky here, but you get the idea. One quirk similarity is not enough to convince me that a character has familial ties to another one. I mean, by that logic, couldn't Gaten be a relative of Rei Todoroki due to the ice ability? Even when we connected Dabi to Shoto via a fire quirk, there was still other evidence mounting, like Dabi taunting Shoto and Endeavor on a personal level, and the fact that an older brother named Toya ran away from the Todoroki household. In terms of reveals, Horikoshi already had his I am your father moment with Dabi being Endeavor's son and Shoto's brother Toya Todoroki. I don't think he needs to one-up this any further. Sure, Ujiko and All For One definitely had a child quirk racket going on, and God knows what they were doing to the children inside the facility that Toya went to after All For One saved him. So I understand the suspicion of Ujiko telling Deku that he doesn't have a quirk within the first episode of the series. But now that Deku has 7 quirks to master, it's unlikely that Horikoshi would try to restore this so late in the series, and it probably wouldn't make much of a difference to his character development anyway. Also, if All For One is truly Deku's dad, why wouldn't he want him as his successor? Perhaps All For One is content on just having a bunch of normal children and spreading his genes, all the while engineering Shigaraki to be his true heir? It seems to me that Deku's dad is always away on business because this is how many fathers of main characters are in manga and other series from Japan. That's if the MC isn't an orphan already. Take the Mega Man series for example. Lan's dad is always working late at Scilab and he's never really around. I think this is just an effort on the developer's part to make Japanese children feel normal about the fact that their salaryman dads usually come home after midnight and they can't really see them. And the same could be said about My Hero Academia. But what do you guys think? Is this fire quirk evidence that All For One got it on with Mama Midoriya? Or is it just a coincidence? Kind of a quick video, just a little interesting theory I saw, but let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. And if it is true, does this mean that Shigaraki is Deku's adopted brother? Until next time, Plus Ultra.